Here's the straight story. On November 12, 2025, Congress released a batch of emails from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. Bombshell emails released. Epstein and Trump connection exposed. Luke 8:17. Nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest. Inside them, claims that former President Donald Trump spent hours with one of Epstein's victims. Does it prove guilt? Not yet. But make no mistake, this changes the conversation. Epstein, the financier turned felon, dead since 2019. Maxwell, convicted partner in his crimes. Trump, once part of their social circle, long denying any wrongdoing. Epstein, Maxwell, Trump, the web of power. Power, privilege, and silence, 2011 to 2019. Ecclesiastes 12:14. God will bring every hidden thing into judgment.
I have your statement about the new Epstein emails that have been released by House Democrats. Separate from why you believe the emails were made public, can you address their substance? Did the president ever spend hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with a victim?
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep. And this email you refer to with the name of a victim that was unredacted now and has since been reported on in this room, so I will go ahead and say it, Virginia Giuffre. And it was CBS's own reporting, Ouija, that recently wrote that Miss Giuffre maintained, and God rest her soul, that she maintained that there was nothing inappropriate she ever witnessed, that President Trump was always extremely professional and friendly to her. And so I think it's a question worth asking the Democrat Party, and you should all go ask them after this briefing, of why they chose to redact that name of a victim who has already publicly made statements about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and is unfortunately no longer with us.
These emails reach back into that tangled web, where money met silence and influence met sin. In one 2011 message, Epstein wrote that Trump spent hours at my house with her, referring to one unnamed victim, and called him the dog that hasn't barked. Then in 2019, Epstein emailed journalist Michael Wolff claiming, of course he knew about the girls. He asked Ghislaine to stop recruiting from the spa. That's not rumor. That's from Epstein's own keyboard. And Congress now has the receipts.
Is considering leaving his job.
Trump spent hours at my house with her. He's the dog that hasn't barked. Of course he knew about the girls. He asked Ghislaine to stop. Luke 12:2. There is nothing covered up that will not be revealed. Let's keep it straight. These are claims, not convictions. The identity of the alleged victim, redacted. Authentication, still under review. And Trump's lawyers insist, no crimes, no cover-up, no truth to any of it. Redacted names, unverified authorship, denials filed. Deuteronomy 19:15. A matter must be established by 2 or 3 witnesses. But these words, once sealed in private inboxes, now sit in public record, and history will test them. Legally, it opens doors to subpoenas and new testimony. Politically, it could shift the ground under Trump's 2028 campaign. Morally, it's a mirror, showing us how power protects itself until truth kicks it down. Epstein called Trump the dog that hasn't barked. Maybe the silence of power is the loudest sound in the room. Isaiah 5:23. Woe to those who acquit the guilty for a bribe. Expect hearings. Expect lawsuits. Expect fury from both sides. Trump calls it a witch hunt. Victims call it overdue justice. Congress calls it unfinished business. And heaven calls it exposure. Because truth doesn't serve parties. It serves light. Truth serves light. John 3:20-21. Whoever lives by the truth comes into the light. What do you think? Are these emails the key that finally unlocks accountability, or just another distraction in a hall of mirrors? Comment your thoughts below. Truth doesn't fear the light. Will this lead to accountability or vanish like the rest? And remember, Psalm 94:20 asks, "Can wicked rulers be allied with you, those who frame injustice by statute?" When rulers forget righteousness, people must remember it. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the truth always rises.